Good morning, everyone. Really nice to be here. I think the topic is a bit overwhelming one. Sitting in the middle of stalwarts who have built the ecosystem and taken D2C journey to the stage at which we are in the country. Talking about what will make this successful in future was an interesting one. I put together some thoughts, but before we get there, I thought let's start by how have we gotten till where we are today, right? Like what has been some of the key drivers of the growth which we have seen in D2C ecosystem? Like why has D2C grown? And before we get to that, for me, D2C is not physical retail or online retail, right? Like it's not about the only online brands, an online brand selling on marketplace, only, I don't know how much D2C it is, because D2C eventually is direct to consumer, right? So I talked about personalization and customization, which as an opportunity has come. For me, that is D2C, right? But what has driven that D2C, if you look at some of the key enablers, right? Increased internet penetration, digital acceleration. More and more customers are online. And what that means is you can reach out to them, deliver, communicate, engage in a very personalized manner. On the customer side, you know, our aspirations, our needs are more and more evolved. I look at my kids, right? They know so much about the world, more than what I knew when I was their age. And that holds for me as I put myself compared to my parents. So my aspiration, the shampoo, the brand I want to use, and the messaging they have with them, the story they want to tell, right? My demand from the brand I want to engage with is a lot higher than what it was in the past. So yes, there is digital acceleration through which I can reach out to consumers. The consumers are asking more, but then it's about how do you cater to so many diverse set of customers. I've been with Unilever in the past, and I remember launching a new variant required like massive amount of minimum order quantities, right? What the current supply chain has enabled is to be able to produce for a niche set of customers, and because you're not limited by the geographical barriers of being able to serve a particular state or a different, or a limited geography, limited by your physical reach, you are able to cater as a brand to that niche requirement of a set of customers. It might be spread across the country, right? Lastly, the changing environment, yes, all this ecosystem is fine, but you know, there's this element of inertia, right? I'm shopping the way I was, why do I need to change? And then COVID came. And it forced both the ecosystem and more importantly, the consumers. Like, the ecosystem can't grow without the consumers being more receptive about it. And in a sense, it was forced. And the good thing was, as an ecosystem, we were ready with the right products, with the right customer insights to be able to serve that need. And finally, yes, all this is fine, but you know, there's an Amazon, and we talked about Amazon. I don't know how much of D2C it is, because you're not talking directly to the customer. You do need ecosystem enablers to be able to reduce the time to scale. And hence the role of a Shopify, a Razorpay, and Shiprocket, enablers like us, to be able to reduce the time to scale. If I have an idea today, I can launch it, right, as an entrepreneur in 30 days. Because I need to focus on what is important for me as a brand, and I should be, which is the customer. What is the customer insight? What is the need state I'm solving for? And the rest of what we see here is what has enabled me to do it, right? And if you look at some of the examples of what early adopters have gotten right, sharp customer need state addressing, right? What am I solving for? And staying true to that purpose, right? If I am Mama Earth, I'm solving for worried parents, I am going to focus on that. Let me not sort of spread out thin and try to do 10 different things. And legacy brands, like if you look at even traditional brands, Dove has been saying the same thing for the last like 70s and 80s of years. So you need to be always focused on, and if you look at the success stories of some of the brands, you see that clearly playing out. Setting up a D2C channel, we talked about. Yes, you create that brand, you have that brand story to tell, you are being consistent about it, but are you bringing in that one-to-one personalized communication, which only you can do when you own the channel, right? So having your own ecosystem of how you're engaging with your customers, be it offline or online, is important. Customer segment and targeting, gone are the days when you take a slot on Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi and run it, and you are expecting that everyone will see it, and then you'll see an offtake in sales a month later. The ecosystem has enabled you to be much more sharper in targeting, retargeting that customer who has that specific need. And that's what some of the brands have done well: tech-enabled customer experience, WhatsApp bots, expanding product mix. So this is what I think has been the journey so far, what has worked for the ecosystem, what has worked for the brand, what some of the brands have done well, and we're like we saw in the earlier couple of presentations, we're just getting started. It's a $100 billion opportunity, 800 plus brands. We're sitting at what, 46 billion, and it's going to scale and get bigger and bigger. But what are the next frontiers, right? Great story so far. And it's a grade 1 to 10 story. What does that 10 to 100 or 10 to 1,000 look like, right? And if you ask me, the biggest one in my mind is, how do you solve for the post-checkout experience? Right? I'll give you an example, right? Amazon, we interact with when we shop there on the front end. Amazon has a customer experience team, which is building products, which is building search, gateway, detail page, lots of things, which is what we interact with. But they have a bigger delivery experience team, right? If you see, to deliver a delightful experience post-purchase, after you have added to cart and made a transaction, you need multiple systems to work together. You need to know where the inventory is right now, how will it be shipped, if there's a defect, how am I going to engage with the customer, something around loyalty, returns, equivalent, etc. So you see on the right side, all these needs to be solved for, and all this comes after I have placed an order. And a marketplace has potentially solved for. There's a closed-knit ecosystem, and that delivers a delightful post-order experience. A pre-order experience, if you ask me, any D2C destination wins hands down, right? Because it's a very native experience. When you search on a D2C website, and you know you want to shop there, right? The discovery, you don't have sponsored ads of multiple brands, you don't get distracted with multiple other things, you don't get lost. So the customer experience, in fact, in a D2C environment is much better. But when it comes to the post-order experience, right, there are multiple things to be stitched. And I think that is going to be the key on how these things come together, right? Multiple elements of this. And this is what a customer expects, right? 100% on-time delivery, error-free delivery, because I have been used to it as a marketplace. I want to be able to see the speed, right? Tell me, what will it take for me? I need to order in the next 1 hour to get it tomorrow. Give me options of prime, non-prime. Take extra from me, deliver it tomorrow. Give me a seamless return experience. Tell me on every page whether I can return it or not. And then don't expect me to call up to be able to return, right? These elements is what builds customer loyalty, customer trust. And in my mind, that's going to be the key. The first part of the puzzle has been solved. Great shopping experience. What happens after I place my order? And how can I deliver a seamless end-to-end post-checkout experience? I think the second one is, multi/omni-channel is going to be the key. And I said it in the beginning. When I say D2C, I don't mean physical or online. I'm saying a direct to consumer. And there are ways to build a seamless and an experience which transcends both online and offline, right? And there is a need for customers to experience your brand offline. Your offline presence enables you to be able to bring that inventory online, be able to serve it faster. The touch and feel, the experience, if I'm a fashion brand, the ability to be able to return, go there and try. So mix of online plus offline, but a key theme being, you have to have a consistent consumer layer. It's not a digital strategy and an offline strategy. As a consumer, if I've placed an order online, when I come into the store, what's the experience? If it's not my own store, I walk into a big bazaar and I'm interacting with your brand. How will you ensure that the experience is consistent? I don't know, right? Like, these are some of the things which, as we evolve, right, we need to build for, so that the D2C part of the experience transcends not only in online, but even in offline, and that is in sync with how the experience was in online, right? The third one being the world and Bharat is going to be the stage. Go back to an example from Unilever. Dove, premium brand, sells more in tier 2, tier 3 cities than it sells in tier 1 cities. The aspiration of the consumers in a tier 2, tier 3 city is no different from a consumer in a tier 1 city, more so in an environment when I have access. As a consumer, I know the latest trends. If I want to feel good about myself, I do want to feel good about myself. It doesn't matter whether I'm sitting in Delhi or Kurukshetra or Muzaffarpur, right? I do want to feel good. But there is, and hence the story, what my brand stands for, its relevance, traditional brands, enough examples to say it is relevant. How am I reaching those customers, the mediums I am taking to engage with them, and creating access in a seamless manner. How traditional FMCG did it was by creating smaller access packs, by doing home to home, by getting the consumer there to experience, by reducing some of the stigmas around, oh, why do I need to use this brand or whatever equivalent, etc. I think building for Bharat, and on the other side, building for other countries, right? Same insight. Your brand, Dove, when it came from like UK to India, didn't change the brand value prop. It resonated with the customers because the customer need state is not specific to a country or a region. It is pretty consistent. And hence, how do you translate what you're standing for as a brand for a Bharat and an international audience is, I think, going to be the key in future. Yes, the story remains the same, but the access, the medium you are using to communicate that story, land that story, will be key. So yeah, those are the three themes which I fundamentally see emerging. One, the post-checkout experience, pre-checkout, already I think to a large extent we have solved for. The second one being omni-channel, not physical or online. I'm saying D2C experience, which transcends both when I'm online, when I'm on WhatsApp, when I'm on physically store, a connected customer experience for me. And the third one being, it's not only a tier 1 opportunity. The 10 to 100 scale up for brand will happen when they say Bharat is also what I need to cater to. Other countries also what I need to cater to. It's a bit of a thing big, but yes, the customer needs rate doesn't change, and there are enough examples in history to tell us if we are true to that customer need is available, is there across. A bit about what are we trying to do at Shiprocket to solve that, especially the first piece of the post-checkout experience. I'll potentially play a video to talk about what it is. Just give me 2 seconds, yeah, before you play that. I think we started off as a tech-enabled logistics aggregator, where we said, I need to move goods from point A to point B. Till we sort of zeroed in on that chart which I showed you about what a marketplace does on post-checkout versus where we are and the number of ecosystems. And what we are trying to build is a post-checkout experience with shipping being a key element of it, but saying it's not only shipping. No customer expects a good to move from point A to point B only. They need multiple other things. They need faster, predictable, better customer engagement, better conversion. There are elements of the puzzle which we will solve on our own. There are elements of the puzzle which we'll solve with a lot of partners which we see here. But what we believe is we want to be at the forefront of building this post-checkout operating system, because that will be key to success as we scale D2C in the coming years. Can we have the AV, please? Thank you. That's it from my side. Thank you. Thanks.